One of the most important factors in addressing conflict before and after an incident is consulting with community leaders. Uh, and that's important because they have a stake in what's happening in their community. But we first need to know who are the leaders in the community. So it's important to assess and to identify who they are. One of the things that's important, the day of the one person speaking for a community is over. Leaders come in all shapes and sizes and communities we find these days. It could be the clergy, but don't downplay the neighborhood watch person or the coach or some youth groups or some other coalitions that work together for the betterment of their community, for the city council or other leaders. But it's important to make sure that there's a buy-in. So it's important to consult with community leaders. And then what do you do when you bring those communities together?
And working in the community, identifying as various segments of your community, you have a lot of individuals within your community that, I'd say they're stakeholders. I like to use my terms, and I call them, those are your informal mayors within your community. They're not elected, but the community knows who they are. And not much happens in the community without going through those individuals. So they're like the gatekeepers, if you will. It's important, if you're going to do community engagement, to identify and know that community. Who are the movers and shakers? Who are the influencers within that community? And it's important that you have that conversation and contact with them because they have a voice.
I tell people all the time, the day when the sole preacher comes downtown to speak on behalf of a community is over. And so make sure that you put people in place in your community that can speak on behalf of it, and they have a stake in it. Sometimes people may come to the table, and you have coalitions, and sometimes everybody in the coalition does not sing from the same sheet of music. And you got to make sure that you understand that as a mediator, as an organizer, as a facilitator, as a city leader, as a government official that's there to help bring peace in the midst of a lot of confusion.